It is actually easier to hold your principles 100% of the time than it is to hold them 98% of the time. This is a life lesson provided by a former Harvard business professor, Clayton Christensen. And Professor Christensen also graduated from Harvard University many decades ago. He had seen his classmates and alumni becoming very successful in their careers. Many of them became CEOs or CFOs of important organizations, and they married someone who were better looking than them. But decades later, things started to change. Many successful Harvard graduates ended up in prisons because they fell into huge troubles like financial scandals, insider trading scandals, or even sex scandals. They had many life crises, and some of them had divorces. The idea of just this once has put a lot of young, talented, smart people in dangerous positions. And he emphasized in his book that most of us think that important ethical decisions in our lives will be delivered with a blinking red neon sign. Caution, important decision ahead. The problem is, life seldom works that way. It comes with no warning signs. Instead, most of us will face a series of small, everyday decisions that rarely seem like they have high stakes attached. And you know, the marginal cost of bending your rule just one time seems really trivial, but the likelihood of you doing it over and over again is pretty high. Once you open the door for it, you will continue doing that wrong thing. And in the end, you will pay the price of it, and the price might be unbearable. So personally, I cannot agree more with this idea. You know, I've seen many smart kids at prestigious universities. They were completely capable of achieving great academic success, but they decided to take shortcuts and even cheated on exams. But a consequence of that cheating behavior, even though many young people see it as trivial or unimportant, can come with you forever. In the end, those cheating students were kicked out of school. They didn't get a degree, and no school or employer would hire them because they've already lost their reputation. And you know, this is just a small example, and life comes with a lot of temptations and tricky circumstances. And in your 20s or 30s, you will encounter many tricky circumstances. So for example, when I was working as a business operator and also educator at a large company, our supervisor asked our team to produce a marketing video of an ordinary young teacher becoming a successful principal on a campus. So as a previous journalist, the first thing I did was to check the fact whether there was a real person behind the story. And I asked employees who worked at that company for many years, and I couldn't find the real person behind it. Then I had a very fierce argument with my supervisor. I said, if there's a real person behind the story, we can reproduce the scenes. If there's no real person behind it, we cannot create fake news. This is fake news. And I said, I'm out. I will not be part of this program. So at that moment, it definitely took me courage to say this out loud in front of my team. But I never regret it, because I know if I'm going to have a long career in the media industry or the education industry, trust is the most valuable asset I can have. I will never sacrifice my professional reputation for that small project or for short-term interests. In your life, making hard decisions that align with your values is more important than any kind of short-term interests. The idea of just this once can actually lead you down the path that you never want to go. On the other hand, if you are able to hold your principles 100% of the time, you can save a lot of mental energy and time. You can devote your time energy to more important things in your life. So for young people who are watching this video, never ever bend your rule. Think about what is right, what is wrong, and know your values, know your principles, and know what you stand for. If you give in to just this once, you will regret where you end up. Many politicians didn't start out as bad people. They were willing to sacrifice themselves for the country, to serve the country, but in the end, because of wrong decisions, they ended up being corrupt. And many young athletes who were well respected by young people around the world suddenly got caught up abusing drugs. And you've seen many young celebrities who were beautiful and who were worshipped by fans around the world suddenly lost their reputation overnight. So, if you want to have a happy, stable life and a long-term success, Hold your principles, not just sometimes, but all the time. So here's a quote I want to read to you from the book, How Will You Measure Your Life? Look, I know that as a general rule, most people shouldn't do this, but in this particular extenuating circumstance, just this once, it's okay. And the voice in our head seems to be right. The price of doing something wrong just this once usually appears alluringly low. It suckers you in, and you don't see where that path is ultimately headed or the full cost that the choice entails.